today. There are races going on here. Welcome to Today at the Races on a Friday where it kind of feels like a Saturday, Keith.
It does. I was asking you before the show, what day is it? It's Friday.
It's Friday, but we're going to try and bring you some Saturday vibes here on this 9-race card here today. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got going on here today. Everything's looking pretty good, Keith.
Yeah, let's keep the bad weather away. Unfortunately, a little shortened cards yesterday due to some lingering lightning, so for safety reasons, had to make that call. But yeah, fast and firm today. 86. It's a little bit muggy out here, so it's time to go hit the pizza lady up for a bucket of cold ones and enjoy some live racing here at Laurel Park.
And we certainly have that for you here, starting in race number 1 that does kick off that early pick 5, and it does begin in this maiden claiming 20,000, going 1 mile on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Scratch in the number 3. MTO Toast to Coast. Keith, you and I both have the number 8 Hialeah Native on top. This is for Phil Schoenthal, Victor Carrasco. Let's go ahead and take a look at that start last time out.
Yeah, I thought this was a really, really good effort on the stretch out. Hialeah Native, only his third start. Started out long on the dirt, wanted the turf. That was taken off. Then a 5/8 on the grass. They just got away from it. Kind of looks like he found a home here. Battled through very good internal fractions. That third quarter solid. Just gives way ever so grudgingly through the last eighth of a mile. Neutral, your winner, was able to find that seam. That was the first time gelding angle there at a fairly square price, if I remember. But I tell you, Hialeah Native, looking at the field, the flow is going to be to his liking. I don't think maybe has to go as demanding of a pace early. Phil Schoenthal, the trainer, last couple months, very good, hitting at about an 18% strike rate with an ROI of 279. So I expect Hialeah Native to be forwardly placed. Doesn't need the lead either, I don't think, here at the mile distance.
Let's talk about Dynamass for Paul Fout, who you have in your exacta on the rail. Gets Horacio Caramanos back in the saddle here today, where they teamed up for a pretty decent effort, too, back in the last race of 2022.
Yeah, Dynamass. That race before the layoff was pretty good. I was good there. Had a little bit of traffic. I watched that again today. Caught stalled, far turn. Actually dropped back to last. Worked outward, finished up with some interest last time out. I think just needed it. This barn has done well. Smaller sample size off of this type of break. I think has enough speed to get within range early, maybe 4 or 5 out of it, then moves up to contention by the quarter pole. Dynamass a little drop. We got quite a few horses dropping down in this opener. The 10, Nanga Parbat, another one here, Cecily Evans for Niall Seville. Second time Lasix, the third time gelding angle, improved number, third off of a break. This one comes out of that same race as Dynamass a couple races back. So I think this one works. It's got to have to work out a trip from that outer post. Doesn't have a slew of speed, but should be able to draft in and bring a run into it. You're looking for a price horse, the 5, Syncopated. I think this one's on the improve, back to one of its better numbers in last. I think it works. A quicker pace last time, closed up with a very wide trip. I think Humphrey's going to be able to save a little bit more ground today.
As you mentioned, a bit of a nice race to open up this Friday race card here today. Competitive first kickoff to the early pick 5. Let's go to the first leg of the early pick 4, though. Keith, as per usual, you got to take it. Dave hit it yesterday. Let's see what you got going on today.
A little Thunder Rumble there, right? That New York bred. Oh, geez. 2-5 to get you started here in the early pick 4. Too deep. I tell you, this ticket I had early, Callie, was a lot of money. I backed it up to 24. Challenging races, especially early on this Laurel Park card. So 2 deep to get you started. Race 3, 1, 3, 4, and 8 World Factor. Big price in there, little shot, first time barn change. 5, 6 in race number 4, Switzer, Carvelian Quest. If you can throw practical sense in there, yeah. I mean, I thought even with the scratch of the 4, shorter field, it's pretty close there in my opinion. And race 5, 5, 7, 10, your little price play there, Grand Escape for a $24 ticket. Add if you like. You see a couple of the other horses I have in my picks of the 4. If you want to go grab a friend and make a bigger ticket, it looks like it should pay pretty well. I mean, Patriotic Party to get you started. If he wins, it's going to be a shorter price. But I think from there on, it's kind of a spread around the race.
I agree. There's plenty to like here in those last couple of legs in that early pick 4, but we will get to that in a minute. We are going to start on that first leg of the early pick 4, that claiming 10,000, which have never won 3, going 1 mile and 16th on the dirt. Scratching the number 1, Notion to Tap It. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the number 2, Patriotic Party. Let's take a look at that effort from last time out at that claiming 10,000 level.
Yeah, this is a horse that showed talent on the go back, off of a break, a big number, and then just steadily went on the decline, like just kind of hit rock bottom. Looks like he's worked his way back up, and I like this. two races back was dead game. Got a cleaner trip this particular afternoon, and still finished up very well to the wire. Pace flow is going to work to his advantage. The inside post at a mile and a 16th certainly works. He's on or near the lead. Maybe he's on fire kind of goes. I like the staying power. It's by a stallion that won at a mile and a half. I like this idea of stretching out to a mile and 16th by Damon with Patriotic Party.
And then underneath you have Wonder Water for Ricky Solomon gets JVN Toledo in the saddle here today in that return down to this $10,000 level.
I think this is the low. You just, like you said, this is the right spot. I mean, that was a tougher group last time, down cold helmets and better horses in here. Flow won't be crazy. Should be able to kind of sit a trip. Doesn't have that big, quick kick, a grinding style. It should work for Wonder Water. Chromare is another one coming in. Crystal Pickett really got the benefit, though, of a spirited duel, an extended duel. Two or three horses got into it. Kind of maybe enhanced that number last time out, but does look a little bit on the improve.
And in race at number 3, as Keith Usel goes 2, 5, 6, 7, the second leg of that early pick 4. He in this maiden claiming 20,000, going a mile on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old scratch. In the number 9, Scat Dance, you have the number 1, Call Me a Dreamer for Fenica Bentley, gets William Humphrey in the saddle. I almost had this one on my ticket, so I'm glad you have this one in your top selection, Keith.
Yeah, kind of a similar type of look as Highly Native in the opener, right? Last time out, off of a break, battle, good solid third quarter, just a little bit of a fade late. The key is out of a key race. Sage Runner came back to dead heat for Trombetta on the race. I think the inside position is good. Another one shortening up a 16th of a mile. And again, I don't think this one necessarily needs lead. I like the fact that he's got positional speed. It's going to work in here. I think he stays a little bit better here. At a square price, 8-1. I think that's about right. Yeah, I think that's a good number for Call Me a Dreamer.
And then you have Solomon's Choice underneath in My Exacta as well for Mikey Girales. Gets Axel Concepcion back in the saddle here today. Taking a look at that last effort. What's your big take from that last effort at the 1 mile?
A little trouble early, but man, I tell you, he's had a lot of tries. I thought he was going to win it there. He kind of had the trip, rolled to the front, just couldn't get it done. Might bounce up a little bit more, third off the break, but has had a lot of chances. Not a horse you can really trust. Some sketchy form abounds in this race, Callie. I think you're looking at the 8-horse, Fight No More Forever for Kevin Boniface. The Lasix going on, a little traffic last time out, made a little bit of a run, and it just kind of flattened late, kind of a little bit of protect move late. I think Fight No More Forever, another drop down, keys up against the right kind, 2 back, can make a run from the back.
As Keith Usel goes 1, 4, 8, 3 in race number 3. Race number 4 does start that Rainbow Pick 6 carryover that we have from yesterday. 16,427 going into race number 4 in that claiming 40,000, which have never won 2, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Excuse me while I've quickly forgot about my Rainbow Pick 6 ticket. I go ahead and single in race number 5 on the number 7. Aesthetically for Damon Deal and Vico, you have that one in your exacta, Keith. I go wide in the next race in race number 6 in that jackpot super high 5 race that we have. 6 furlongs on the dirt. I go in with a bomb price as my top selection. We'll get to that in a second, but then you also want to highlight onto race number 8 what a race that we have coming in for that nice feature race that we have for today. Cordmaker coming back into action here today, but that's a $48 ticket, and we'll see how that goes.
We're going to sprint to the wire here, Callie, if you want to move. We'll get to the 4th at Lightning and Thunder. It's getting a little bit close.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go into race number 4 in that claiming 40,000, which have never won 2, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up scratch. And the number 4, My Mamba. And you and I both have the number 5 on top, Switzer, for Anthony Ferry. Sheldon Russell, what do you got highlighted, Keith?
Yeah, this one, the form is okay. Numbers work against these, and there is a little bit of a negative. The horse out of that last race have not come back to run well. But Ferrier, off of a claim, bringing these horses from Kentucky to Maryland, it's been good for him. And when he races them, it's even better. Look at this. Last 2 years on the dirt, 7 for 23, Callie. 30%, 15 for 23 in the money. First off the claim, it's kind of 50% tag jump, ROI 240. Not a lot of speed, but I think you might see some improvement. Has some speed to target. Bobby Ride has had some issues out of the gate. Comes in fresh with Lasix. I think new face will probably go ahead and send from the inside. Carvellian Quest won't let that one get too far away. I think the 6 is the horse to beat. I like the drop down. That was a much tougher field last time, as evidence, 30-1. Back here, first time tag for Trombetta, but Value, if you're looking for maybe a little bit sneaky, is the 3 Practical Cents. Have a video of
Yes.
that one. Interesting move here, Kelly. Tell me what you think of this. Claim for 25 back in late January. This is a good race. Inside move right here to the quarter, edged up, and just his dead game through the final furlong. Only beaten 3 quarters. 2 next out winners. 4th came back to run a 79. Center mid Maddie a 71. Decent field and was jumping a condition there. 3 in life. Now gets back to a 2 in life. 2nd off the claim. A dull effort. 1st off the claim. Now, but holds the level. That's what's interesting. You know, a barn like Hugh McMahon, not scared to really drop a horse. But that gives me a little bit of confidence that they're staying here at this $40,000 level.
He will let them stick around for a race or two if needed. It's the blinkers on that really gets my intrigue with Hugh McMahon. 14% as of lately, but consistent. The last 14 starters with the blinkers on. 2 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. So there's a little bit of consistency there, which is something that I like, which is why I have this one in my exacta.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, he could be put into the race. Like I said, I think the one's best chance is going to be front end. Carvelian Quest has enough to lay close, but I think Practical Sense, you're right with that blinkers on. He means to be, I think, into it definitely by mid-turn. Yep.
And as Keith Fuso goes 5-6, 3-2 in race number 4, we will be right back after this commercial break.
And they're off.
Welcome back, and we are going to kick right back into things, into race number 5 in this claiming 16,000, which have never won 3, going 5.5 short on the turf here for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the number 8 Street Hustle, scratch in the number 9 Sponsored. Keith, you have the number 5 Grand Escape on top for Robbie Bales. Gets Yomar Ortiz in the saddle and tries turf for the first time.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a reach, but 6-1, and I think a wide open event. Maybe if you held, right to me the gun, aesthetically, might be the horse to beat, turning back off of an okay number prior sprinting. Gussie Mack off a long time. But I think Grand Escape, I liked the effort last time. Really game. Got a little trouble mid-stretch on the dirt, angled out and came back. Looking to breeding, uncaptured that stallion, 14% with a turf sprinter. So little live shot. Robbie's been good. You look at some of his stats, his numbers, turf sprints, 25% with a gaudy ROI of over $7.
And you also have underneath the number 7 aesthetically for Damon Gil, DeVico, Horacio Caramanos in my top selection here. Coming back off of an uncharacteristic to the lead routing turf effort coming back into 2023.
Yeah, I think Damon, we talked to him the other day out here with a similar horse off of that second off of a break, but coming back a little bit quicker than maybe that they like, but turning back in distance, battled through some pretty good internals last time stretching out. I think the sprint is definitely going to work, be able to stalk and move into it.
As Keith Fuso goes 5-7, 10-3 there in race number 5. Race number 6 kicks off that jackpot carryover that we have. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Race number 6 and that super high 5 jackpot pool that we do have, and it does begin in there we go, 6,400. Nope, that's the Rainbow Pick 6, but it is in this maiden claiming 12-5, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. 11,237 coming into that jackpot super high 5 race. Scratch in the 7, Bobsworth. Keith, you have the number 5 on top. Nick's Little Boy. This is a pick that I do like. Phil Capuano gets the blinkers on, also gets Carlos Lopez on.
Yeah, so you've got another one into the mix. I think this is another spread race. Austin from Boston could take place. A belly off time out of a key race. Yeah, all right, good. She's been okay with these horses. But do you want to take 3-1, 7-2? You want to go for something a little bit higher. Maybe Nick's Little Boy. First time out, okay, wide, but did take some play into a big field on the grass. I think dirt form is going to work okay, too. Half the boss man, JJ, has a couple wins on the dirt with a top of 70. Little reach here, maybe not. I think this horse is, if we can get right around 5 or 6-1, I like that. I think this horse with Lopez gets put into the race early.
And you also have number 3 underneath as well. Union League, Robbie Bales, Yomar Ortiz trying to make another stab here, returning back, shortening things up to this time.
Maybe looks like a now or never type. What do you think, Callie? I mean, claimed in 45, then a drop to 30 off a break, then a back up a reach on the turf, trying to find its level. Obviously has that 65 to work on the go back. Again, I think this horse has the right kind of style if he's close to right to sit back and rally into what I think might be a little bit of a questionable speed. I think Nick's little boy, though, is going to be dangerous up front.
And as Keith Busta goes 5, 3, 9, 11 there in our jackpot super high 5, a carryover of 11,000, almost 300 to that in race 6 and in only race number 6 here on the Laurel lawn. Race number 7 is a starter optional 20,000 going 5.5 short on the turf here. Scratch in the number 4, Minding Millie. Scratch in the number 8, Shyla Girl. Keith, let's talk about our shared top selection in Golden Can. Tom McMahon, Sheldon Russell, first in the barn for Tom McMahon.
Yeah, fives are wild, it looks like, for me today. I got quite a few of them. Golden Can doesn't have to run into some speeds like Fast Lonnie in above the limit. That's my note there. She's quick. She's had a couple wins over this turf course. I think she's the main speed. Let's see. First off the claim. This barn has done well off the claim in the past. Don't run a whole lot of horses, but I think if she clears, she can dictate. Puppy Monkey Baby, what a great name, Puppy Monkey Baby, really good. I think you look at her last few turf starts. I know she's coming off some synth tries. She was running against stakes horses, 2 other than. It's a little bit of drop in class here, positional speed as well. I think Toledo get that nice inside-out trip. With Puppy Monkey Baby. Shouldn't be too far out of it once they turn for home.
Let's talk about a horse that's probably going to be taking in plenty of money in the number 10 Canadian Ginger. Let's go ahead and take a look at that last winning effort in the barn of Hugh McMahon.
Yeah, you give a little pass for first-time effort on the turf, first lifetime effort. May 6 off of a break. Broke a little slow, got in a little trouble, rushed up, and then was all done. Comes back against a similar field. They kind of hold the level there and really got a great trip. Was rated in behind horses around the turn. Works outside and just keeps on grinding to get up, running down a pretty quick horse. Fast Line has been proven over the turf, not just at Pimlico, here at Laurel. So I like the run here late. I think 5.5 in this group is certainly going to work. Switches over to left fleet. Okay, that's fine. Still going with pretty good energy to the wire. I think this one hits, stalking trip, 3 or 4 out of it, and just tries to ramp it up again. Should be in the clear and stay clear of any kind of trouble. If we stay on the grass.
As Keith Busta goes 5, 2, 10, 3 in race number 7. Race number 8 is our big feature race. This nice allowance, a mile and 16th. Scratch in the 1 Yodeleihu. Scratch in the 2 Vance Scholars. You land, of course, on the number 4 for this 3-year-old and up effort in Everett Song. Hugh McMahon, Sheldon Russell. Hugh McMahon might have a bit of a bang-up day today.
Yeah, this one here came off of a real big layoff. Has worked itself back into shape. Got caught in a duel leaving the far turn, had every right to give in to Galeria, who sat the perfect trip, just was dead resolute to the wire. I like that. Flow works. I think Zabracadabra, Everett Song have a chance, if they don't go too crazy up front, to just kind of control the pace and have their own little match race up front. A horse like Our Nation on Parade works. We'll talk about Cordmaker coming back off the break. Zabracadabra, though, I think is going to take a lot of play and would be very tough on or near the lead.
Of course, and let's touch a bit on, excuse me for a second, let's touch a bit on Zabracadabra in that last win, that allowance on the 9th of June. Of course, just a stalwart effort, a really professional ride by Carlos.
Yeah, stellar record here at Laurel, too, right? Look at this, 5 wins out of 13 starts, 5 seconds. Loves the distance, and, man, at any point, Lopez could just say go, and it was over this particular afternoon at the 1-turn mile. Just kind of measures the speed. They get engaged here, and, man, real kind of easy when you're circling up 4 or 5 wide, I should say, and just drawing off. Things may not be as easy today. We'll see drawing inside if he decides to go. But again, I think Zabracadabra, Eversong, they have just kind of that pace edge, Cal, as the riders. They don't get too crazy early through the first quarter and 3/8. I think they both stay because they both fight.
Yep, absolutely. And let's, of course, touch on Cordmaker coming in off of that 223-day layoff for Ronnie Jenkins. Victor Carrasco gets back in the saddle for this nice champion gelding.
Yeah, lackluster try as the favorite, even money favorite against Similar back in November. Got it back together a little bit the next time out. Looked like kind of a winner, just a little flat now. We'll see. 8 years old. I read a little press release. Seems like he's doing well. Comments by Carrasco and comments by Jenkins. So I'm rooting for him. Obviously a fan favorite here, sentimental favorite in the 8th.
Here's hoping as Keith Busta goes 4-3-1-8-5 as I go 3-4-1-8-5. In that nice little feature allowance. Race number 9 to wrap up our racing here for Friday is a starter optional 12.5, a mile on the turf for the girls 3 and up. Keith, you have the number 7 on top, Red Wind. This one is in the barn of Claudio Gonzalez. Gets Axel Concepcion. Yeah,
Red Wind, Miss Maribel come out of that same race June 21st. Right, a perfect trip. Sat inside, worked outside. off of a pretty quick contested pace. Again, Miss Maribel might get a little bit of company from Map 'em Up, but I think stays better here with a little bit slower flow. Red Wind been at a myriad of turf courses, has handled every one it looks like, sits that stalking trip, and I think edges by late.
In your exacta, you have the number 9, Ms. Maribel.
Mm-hmm.
For Jamie Ness, gets Jamie Rodriguez back in the saddle, and I like this shift over to this class rating here.
Yeah, I think this works. We talked about I think she's going to be part of the flow, maybe spying Map 'em Up. Doesn't want to get engaged maybe too early. We'll see. And Cupid's Dream, this is the right level back for her. I think, again, her races down at Tampa certainly work. She brings one of those back. She's going to be right in a photo at the wire.
And there we have it. Keith, if you have any last-minute best bet value plays that you want to give as we wrap up our racing talk here for Friday here on the Laurel Lawn.
Let's go to the best bet first. I think it's the last race with Red Wind. The unfortunate part we're going to have to see about the weather, right? Yeah. That's a problem. So value play, I've got a slew. Obviously, all those 5 seem to be value plays. Grand Escape is one for me that I like. Going to try the turf now if it comes off. I think it's a user as well. So we're going to monitor this weather, though, because we've got some storms. They look like they might be coming.
Might be passing through really quick,
real
though.
quick. Let's get them out of here, and let's keep everything status quo.
We are going to head over to Dave Rodman for some changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck, everybody.